guys, here we go. We're going to go ahead and start on the rear here. There's really only 3 bolts you got to take out. There's 2 up top for the mount that hold the mount to the body, and then there's 1 on the bottom. 3 bolts, you're done. But first things first, I'm going to take out the inside liner here. I'm going to pull this out. It helps get out of the way. We're going to need access to groundless to run airlines. And it's just a T25 socket. Work it out. You're going to get all kinds of nastiness coming out of there. And ta-da! You get the liner out. So that's going to kind of give us some idea of where to run the lines. Now everybody out here says run it through this. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and take out our bottom bolt here. I believe it's probably like a 14. Let's see. We're going to need a wrench and a socket. It's a 15. Of course, I think it's a 16, and it's the one socket I'm missing off of that set. 16 on that side. So you need a 16 socket and a 16 wrench. In order to pull that out, I gotta go grab a wrench. Alright, so I don't have a 16 mil wrench. I don't know where it is. So what happens when you do this kind of work, you lose your tools. So I'm gonna do a 16 mil socket on the impact. And jeez, I got spiders everywhere in this freaking garage. Here we go, spider, spider, spider. And we're gonna go 16 mil. Okay, and once you get that, you want to save the nut. Go ahead and zip that out. Bolt. Now your axle is free. I don't know if we're free enough to pull that spring out, but what we're going to do next, we're going to go ahead and pull out the strut mount. And I believe that is a 16 mil as well. Just go ahead, we're going to just impact them right now. Just going to zip them just a little bit, ever so slightly. I've got it on minimal torque. I don't want to strip the body bolts. Just enough to zip them out. And then your strut comes out. Here's your shock. Shock is out. 3 bolts done. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and separate the mount. There's a 17 mil bolt there. Use a wrench and use an angled wrench. Make special wrenches just for this. And we'll swap the mount out to our new shocks. Now that you got that out, we gotta get the spring out. Alright, so I'm gonna kind of use this to kind of pop the spring out. is under a little bit of tension, but not much. Well, spring is out. Now we can go ahead and work on the install. Now, you do have to drill a hole up in here for the nut zert. I do believe on the bottom of this, on the inside, you have to work that out a little bit. So I got some sanding discs, and we're going to start on the preparation for putting in the airbag. Alright guys, so I didn't have to drill. Maybe the previous owner or something to this car, when I bought it, there were mods done to it. Maybe they already had it on air ride, so I did not have to drill this open. Basically all you do is you widen this hole for the nut zert, which looks like this, and then you use this tool which threads in. You counter hold it here and turn this, and what it does is it basically crushes this part into that hole and puts it in there. It's real hard to do by hand. I actually just use my impact to kind of zip it down nice and tight, and now we got a nut zert in there ready to rock and roll. So I'm sitting at my computer editing the video for the rear install, and I get halfway through it and I get to the point where it's time to put the bags in. So I'm looking for that footage. I'm dragging through, I'm looking through all my folders, I'm looking through my cameras, through the media sticks, everything, and I can't seem to find the footage. I'm pretty sure I recorded it, I think. Maybe I didn't hit the button and it didn't record. I don't know, I can't find it, and it really sucks. So I apologize for that. I didn't get any of the rear install. I got the dismantle, but not the install. So we'll just kind of go over it quickly. Once you got as far as you did, and you got your nut zert in, you're going to want to take a Dremel or a drill or something high speed and get a sanding barrel or some sort of grinding wheel, and on the very inside of the bottom of the control arm, you're going to want to grind that center ring out so the airbag, bottom of the airbag will slide down in and fit and sit flush in the control arm. That honestly was the thing that took the longest, and maybe I think that's what have happened with my footage is maybe I started recording and it took way too long to do that grinding and I just gave up. I don't know, but so what you want to do is get that grinded out, test fit everything, make sure it fits. By that point in time, you should have taken your airbag, assembled the top, put all the nuts and bolts and the brackets on, put the air fitting on, all that stuff, and you just take that bag and simply put it in that nut zert and screw it in there. Screw it in nice and tight, and as you go in and you start getting snug it down and twist it so your airline port is in a proper position for where the airline will come out and attach to the bag. You want it kind of facing towards the front of the car as best you can if you're going to go out the ABS grommet like I did. So, and then once it's in the top, you kind of pull it and stretch it, the bag will unravel itself, and stick it in the bottom. There's a washer and a bolt, feed that through the bottom, torque it down. I think they said like 10 pounds or something real light. So barely torque it down. You don't want to over torque it, because I think if you do, you risk cracking the bottom of the bag, and you don't want to do that because you'll have all kinds of leaks. Once you get that in, simple and easy, drill yourself a hole through that ABS grommet and feed your line through and connect it to the bag, kind of like you did with the fronts. Start the bag, feed it through to the back. So a quick word of warning when drilling through the ABS grommets is make sure you drill as close as you can to the center of the wire, because you don't want the airline to catch on the body. It's a very small grommet, so if you don't give enough rubber space in there for it to move around, it'll actually kink on the hole of the body that it's on. But be careful not to catch the ABS wire. It's kind of a delicate operation to go through there. But once that's through, take your shock mount off, put it on your new shock. Once the airbag's in, bolt your new shock up to the top, 2 bolts, and torque those down. I think they're like 15 foot-pounds a piece. Real light. It's just aluminum through there, so you don't want to strip it. And then take your strut, pull it down, and line it up put the bottom bolt through. You want to tighten that bolt down at curb weight, so you want to compress the axle a little bit, torque that bolt down. I'm not sure what the torque spec is on that, but I think it is in the instructions for the airlift for the install. Once you get that all done, put your liner back in after your lines ran, and you're good to go. It's really all not that hard. I'm sorry I didn't, like I said, I'm sorry I didn't get any of that on camera. So much for the actual install of the bag. Kind of biffed it like I did with the front, but I guess taking old stuff out is the most important part. So once you get that out, putting the other stuff in is pretty easy. The nut zert's pretty easy. Like I said, I got lucky. I didn't have to drill. Put the nut zert in there, use them bag to kind of zip it down, and it kind of squishes like a mushroom and then hold itself in there. It's actually kind of neat how it works. Just be careful not to screw that up, because they only give you two. They only give you two. That's all you get. So if you screw up one of the nut zerts, which I almost did, I kind of started torquing it down before I put it in the hole, and I kind of had to hammer it and tap it in there because I went a little too far. But anyway, put all that stuff together, get your airlines run. Once all that's set up, finish your wiring, connect everything, and you're good to go. Go ahead and start the car up, fill your air tank with compressor, start checking for leaks, and rock and roll. Run the setup on the control, and you're good to go. Set your presets, fun stuff. Just for a quick inside of the car, I'll show you what I did with my controller. So that's why I ended up mounting my controller. It's just in a cell phone holder that clips to my vent. The wire comes up from underneath the dash and just kind of hangs out there. I wanted to do something fancy with it, mold it into the dash, but it's just so much work. I just decided to go with something simple, and it holds right there. It sits perfect. I can reach it perfect, read the screen perfect. Where I got it, I like it. So yeah, give you kind of an idea how that works. So that's kind of the finish of the rear bag install. I'll go ahead and be doing a review here of everything once I've driven it around for a while and gotten a feel for the air ride. So far, so good. So look out for that video coming soon, and good luck finishing your install and getting her done. Again, if you have any questions along the way, feel free, message me, make a comment or whatever, and I'll get back to you and try to help you out if you run into any issues. So good luck finishing your install. This is MK4 Modder. We'll see you next time.